Hi, Chris here from Tech Tablets. I've had a bit of time on now with the Teclast X98 Pro, and I just thought I'd give you my thoughts and opinions so far using the tablet. That although I've done a lot of gaming tests already, you've seen the videos, I haven't actually talked much about the performance in general, and I'm just going to cover that in this video here. So I've found that people have been asking me, how is the touch performance? Is it slow? Does it lag? Now in Windows Edge, it is fine, and it's very fast. There's no problem scrolling. Now, if I were to head over to Chrome, I'll show you that Chrome is running just like an absolute dog in Windows 10. Actually, I think it has memory leak problems. It just tends to be leaking out everywhere and just consuming all my memory. But if I run the same website, this is the Tech Tablets website here. The homepage is a little heavy because there's a lot of images on it. But, most tablets should still be able to run it well. It is adaptive as well. So we'll adapt to the screen side, but you can see it's not as smooth. It just doesn't want to, there we go, to scroll as well. And so, yeah, don't use Chrome at the moment. It's kind of hard because I have all my bookmarks and things, and I do like to sync with my other, for example, my mobile phone. It syncs to my mobile phone. That's why I use Chrome. But I'm going to have to switch and maybe test out Firefox as well. So overall, the performance is really good. The rotation is fine. And I have no issues whatsoever with that. And in general, I just find that it just feels a little bit faster than the predecessor, which is right here in the background here, just there. And I've actually discovered something that I thought and assumed because of my old SD card, which was the Samsung Evo. I assumed that the USB 2 micro SD card reader was USB 2, but actually it's wrong. It's USB 3. I'll just quickly show you here. This is a nice little bonus there. These are the speeds I got here when I benchmarked my SanDisk drive in there. And the SanDisk performs a lot better than the Samsung Evo I have. Seems to have become really slow for some reason, and I need to format that. But you can see there that those speeds surpass USB 2. So the slot up here, on the bottom, right there, that actually supports full speed. So you probably want to look at getting a UHS micro SD card so you can take full advantage of that. For me, this is something big because now I can store some Steam games on there and I can move over files, and when I record videos, for example, this one right here, I can use a micro SD card and then I can insert that and then upload it to YouTube, and just transferring over is a lot faster now with read rates. I've actually seen read rates up to about 100 almost off this SD card, micro SD card from from SanDisk, getting confused there, and it works really well, so that's a good little bonus there. The other things too that I do like about this tablet is the fact that now I can finally output via the HDMI port here on the bottom. I can finally put out more than 1080p because I have a monitor that is actually a 1440p monitor from Asus. I can enjoy now the full resolution, and I find that it works quite well using that. I haven't had any problems with the wireless. Everything that I can think of is all good, apart from the negative that I've already discovered that you've probably seen in some of my other videos if you have been watching and keeping an eye on my channel. And that is the temperatures, that it seems to get quite hot. Now, what I think Teclast have done, if they've used the same heat spreader solution they've probably used on the Bay Trail tablet right here in the background, and that is, all they do is put like a tape over the top of the system on a chip, the Atom there, eMMC drive and the RAM, and that helps to transfer the heat around and cool things down a bit. They're probably doing the same. Now I might open up this tablet, go around here with a guitar pick or a prying tool, open it right up, and I might actually go and have a look and see if it has got that same tape on there. And I think the thermal solution that you've used is probably going to need like a copper heatsink or something on there. So this is the first batch, and it's already reared its ugly head, showing the fact that it just gets too warm. So if I go into where is my folder and show you some temperatures here. Now these are temperatures that I showed in another video. I actually did some gaming for 2 hours straight, even though the video was only 16 minutes or so long, but to set up and do some gaming and record the different games, it was on constantly running games for 2 hours, and these are the temperatures I got. You can see here they're quite high, so it got up to 86 degrees, and you see up here thermal throttling happened, and this is what you don't want to see on these tablets. And this probably explains some of the results I'm getting, where Although the benchmarks show that the graphics is twice as fast almost, benchmarks, if you think about them, they're only short really. They're not running for an hour or 2 hours. And this is when the problem is arising here, that it's been on for a long time and it's been using a lot of energy, and the graphics has been running at its full throttle, just running everything, 100% CPU use, GPU use, taxing the system. And what is the result? Well, this is just getting too hot. So hopefully Teclast are going to address this in the second batch, maybe the international version. Now, I do have to also say that I had to use my own Windows image on this. So this is not the stock factory image that you will get from Teclast when you do buy this, because mine came, the first one, this is all in Chinese, and the only way for me to get rid of that was to completely reinstall Windows 10. So it's not the default image. Although I use the same drivers, I just use double driver to back up everything and put that back on the tablet. And maybe there's a few configuration files or something that's missing that's causing some issues with my one. I don't really know. I mean, that shouldn't be the case, but maybe that's possible. So I've also taken some photos as part of my review process. I'm going to be working on the review soon on techtablets.com if you want to see a full detailed written review of this tablet. That'll probably be up in about a week or so. I just need a bit of time with the tablet to get a really good impression of it. Now, the camera is the same 5 megapixel autofocus camera on the back, and it actually takes an okay photo for these Chinese tablets. It takes one of the better photos. Now, normally the photos are really rubbish, they're blurry and horrible, and you can actually use some of these photos. So if you're on the go and you wanted to take for example, photo of text, you said, okay, I need to get that down, maybe you're in classes or something like that, this camera will actually work. It takes okay macros, if you can see here. That's just the macro I took of some text there of Game of Thrones, and it comes out alright, and you can actually use that. Now, this is something surprisingly that not even the Surface 3 Pro could do. I mean, that camera was fixed. I could not get macro photos, and that was really annoying. They of course fixed that in the Surface 3, and other photos they took, they came out okay. Not too bad colors, the sharpness, and normally this outside photo they take just outside the front of my house, normally that's all blurry and a little bit. On most of the cameras that I use and do the photos on, they just come out shocking. You just never use it. I mean, that's okay. It's not a wonderful photo. Like if I zoom in, you're going to start to see that, yeah, okay, it's 5 megapixel camera. There's a few ghosting. Then, that's not really that good of an image. Now, the front-facing camera is 2 megapixel, and I have used that in Skype, and it looks okay. It's no Apple FaceTime camera, but it works fine and looks okay. Now, what I have noticed is there's something wrong with my microphone or the configuration of the audio drivers, the Realtek drivers. It sounds all muffled and horrible. I'm going to do just a quick test of that so you can hear just how bad that sounds, because it's not good at all. What I'm going to do is get the other tablet, the older predecessor here. This is the X98 Air 3G model. Get that and run that here and see if I can run both of them at the same time and record the sound so you can hear what that sounds like. So if I set them both up and get them to record at the same time, just so you can get an idea. So imagine you're in a Skype call and this is maybe the distance from the camera to where the tablet is. If you're holding it, I'm just going to quickly record. So this is going to be a test just to see how sound sounds like on the X98 Air and the X98 Pro. So I'll stop that and let's play this back on the X98 Pro. That just sounds horrible. That sounds like a 1920s recording. Actually, probably 1920s recordings would sound a lot better than that. Now, what does it sound like on the X98 Air 3G? See, that actually sounds fine, and Skype sounds really good on this model. So I think something's gone wrong with the sound on my tablet. Maybe my drivers, maybe the microphone, the hardware there they've used is different, but it's still in the same position right here. And really bad, as you can hear, that's just all muffled. And apparently that's what I sounded like to people talking to me on Skype, so not good at all. Not good for Skype calls, not at the moment. That is probably again because I'm not using the official Windows image that Teclast released. This is probably my own fault, so take that into consideration there. Now running a 4K clip here. I just got some of the demo files, images here that I normally show to show off the screens and how they look here. And it's not loading in for some reason. Okay. And works really well. There's no problems with that. Now, sometimes people say that when I'm using these tablets on the videos that I don't seem to be able to touch screens properly. Often that is the case, that I'm using it at a funny angle because I have the tripod right here in front of me. And sometimes trying to actually touch the screen accurately can be a little bit hard in Windows. It's also not as touch optimized as I find as Android or even iOS as well. So run that 4K video. Sorry that I said I was going to run. And this here's a 4K video that I shot on my Samsung Note 4, and it runs just fine. Perfect. Just like the Bay Trail as well, so there's no issues there. They just found that when I'm using both of them, the tablets, and I switch back and forth, running the X98 Pro and then the X98 3G, that it just seems to feel a little bit quicker. Of course, it is faster. It's showing that it is faster in Geekbench. But just using things like the menu here, I've noticed that just bringing up the menu, tapping on the battery, sometimes that will take a lot longer, or even just swipe across to bring up the action center. When I do this on the... Actually, it came in really fast then, but and often it's a little bit slow bringing that up, and it just seems a little bit quicker. And the other thing also that I thought I'd quickly show you, just to jump onto YouTube again and just let you hear the speakers, that they still are not the best. Now, I should actually probably be running this in tablet mode, shouldn't I? Because that's probably what Windows want us to do. If I switch over here to tablet mode, I'm still getting used to Windows 10, and I'm not sure if I really like it that much as I liked Windows 8 when it came out. I thought Windows 8 was okay when that came out. Windows 10 is different. It takes a little while to get used to, of course, with the changes. We've got the start menu back, and that's great. But I just don't like how every time the tablet boots up as well, it boots into tablet mode, and maybe I want the desktop mode. That's, yeah, slightly annoying. So skip over here, go onto YouTube. Now, typing on the keyboard is just as it is on the older model. It is good. It's good typing on the keyboard. I find it's easier just to hold it here in portrait for typing because I can use my two thumbs there. So I'm just going to load up something here. Just 2K video. There we go. That'll do. Now again, I'm using Edge here. If I use Chrome, it's just going to lag and it's not going to be good at all. So Jurassic World trailer there in 2K. Still fast, scrolling's fast, there's no stuttering there. Go back to full screen. And I'll just turn the volume up here. Okay, so that is full volume coming out of the two speakers at the rear. 50 Shades of Grey popped up. Okay, so you can hear the speakers aren't entirely wonderful. I've heard better on the tablets. I mean, the Surface 3 tablet speakers and the Surface 3 Pro, the front-facing speakers, also the Dell Venue 11, those are really good speakers I find on tablets. These ones are pretty average and they have a real muffled kind of sound. Not muffled, sorry, it just has no mid-range bass. They're very tinny sounding and they're not that loud. I wish they're a bit louder. Even the Chewy VI10, now that's got better speakers as well, and they're on either side, and that tends to sound a lot better. So overall, I do think this is a step up from the original model. It is faster. I mean, you've got double the RAM, benchmark, so it's faster. There is just that issue, at least maybe it's my model, there is that issue there with the heat on it. I'm just having a look here. Now this has got a lot of videos embedded in that, and that is very smooth. No problem to run all that. You know, it's fine. It's good tablet, but it's just when you game, it's just getting too hot at the moment. So can I recommend it to people who already own the X98 Air 2 or the Air 3G? Yes. Is it worth the upgrade? Yes, depends on your needs. If you're someone like me that wants to output via HDMI over 1080p, if you want a faster micro SD card slot, and if you want to have that more RAM for multitasking and overall quicker experience, yes, go for it. But maybe wait maybe until Teclast address the thermal issues at the moment, because you might want to just wait, hold off, and see what they do about it, because I'm hoping that they're going to release another revision. They always seem to release lots of revisions. Now, at the moment, my model here is the... Going to be able to zoom in on this. It is the... Wow, I can't even see it.
With the Teclast X98 Pro, just mentioning out some gaming here. This is the Dust 2 map here at Counter-Strike.
Sorry. I had that going off in the background. So this model here is actually, if I can just read it, is the K9C3. So K9, is it a dog? Oh, bad joke. No. So it is worth it, I think, an update, but yeah, hold off a second, until they release the second batch. And the disappointing thing is here, micro USB 2, not USB 3, and no Type C, USB 3.1 Type C. Would have been great if they had that on it. Wow, it would have been a top-selling tablet instantly, I think. Lots of people would have gone for it because it just would have been amazing. And I know a lot of people want dual boot as well in this tablet. That is coming. Teclast mentioned that in their Weibo account, which is the Chinese Twitter equivalent. They posted that, yeah, it's going to come with 4G. There was this space apparently on the motherboard for 4G, so eventually we're going to see that. All right, I think I've talked enough there, and hopefully I'll cover enough that people get a good kind of idea of the new X98 Pro. And as I mentioned before, there's going to be a written review that'll be up hopefully within a week or so, and I'll go into a bit more detail as well and some benchmarks comparing that to other models that you can check out there. Thank you for watching this rather long video. I didn't really want it to be that long, but thank you for watching. If you did watch it this far, thanks for holding in there, and I'll hopefully catch you on my next video. Bye for now.